66 million years ago, the Earth belonged to them. Giants that shook the ground, hunters with teeth like steak knives, and gentle plant-eaters longer than a school bus. Not every giant reptile was a dinosaur. The flying pterosaurs overhead and the huge reptiles out in the sea were dinosaur cousins, not dinosaurs themselves. The dinosaurs, they ruled our planet for more than 150 million years, but every single one died before any human was ever born. The first dinosaurs, more than 200 million years ago, were small, some no bigger than a chicken, living in the shadow of other reptiles. Their bones have since been dug up on every continent on Earth, even in Antarctica, which back then was warm and green, not buried in ice. So here's the big question. If no one ever saw a living dinosaur, how do we know what they looked like at all? The answer is detective work, and it starts with bones turned to stone, fossils. When a dinosaur died and was quickly buried, minerals slowly seeped into its bones over millions of years, turning them hard as rock. Today, scientists called paleontologists search deserts and cliffs where that ancient rock is being worn away, and the bones come back into the light. Piece by piece, they dig the bones out, label them, and fit them back together like a giant, ancient jigsaw puzzle. A skeleton tells us a lot. The shape of the skull and teeth reveals what a dinosaur ate. Some even took to the water. Spinosaurus, longer than Tyrannosaurus, had a tall sail on its back and may have hunted fish like a giant crocodile. Long, sharp, knife-like teeth mean a meat-eater, a predator like Tyrannosaurus rex. Flat, grinding teeth and a beak mean a plant-eater, like the three-horned Triceratops. Some wore armor and weapons. Stegosaurus carried a row of tall plates along its back and a spiked tail it could swing like a club. Ankylosaurus was a living tank, covered in bony plates, with a heavy club of solid bone on the end of its tail. Plant-eaters had defenses of their own. Some moved in great herds, and Triceratops faced danger head-on, behind three sharp horns and a wall of bone. The bones reveal size, too. From a single giant leg bone, scientists can work out that some dinosaurs were as tall as a four-story building. The biggest of all were the long-necked sauropods. Argentinosaurus may have been as long as 3 school buses and heavier than a dozen elephants. The smallest were tiny. Some feathered dinosaurs were no bigger than a crow, flitting between the trees. And dinosaurs left more than bones. They left footprints, frozen in stone, that show us how they walked, how fast they ran, and that some traveled in herds. By measuring the gaps between footprints, scientists can even tell how fast a dinosaur moved, and some could run as quickly as a racehorse. They left nests and eggs, which tell us that dinosaurs were parents that cared for their young. Some were caring parents. Maiasaura, the good mother lizard, built its nests close together and guarded its babies until they could fend for themselves. They even left fossilized dung. Crack it open, and you can see the bones and plants of a dinosaur's very last meal. For a long time, people pictured dinosaurs as slow, dull, gray-green lizards. But then came one of the greatest surprises in all of science. In rare fossils, scientists found something delicate pressed into the rock around the bones: feathers. Many dinosaurs, it turned out, were covered in feathers, some fuzzy like a chick, some brightly patterned. Even young Tyrannosaurus may have been fluffy. And the real velociraptor was not the movie monster. It was about the size of a turkey, covered in feathers, with one deadly curved claw on each foot. And feathers held a secret. Under a microscope, scientists found tiny structures that, in living birds, hold color, letting them figure out, for the first time, the real colors of a dinosaur. One small dinosaur, Ankylosaurus, turned out to be black and white with a splash of red on its head, like a tiny dinosaur woodpecker. Which leads to the most amazing discovery of all. The dinosaurs are not entirely gone. Some small, feathered, meat-eating dinosaurs slowly changed over millions of years, their feathered arms becoming wings. Their descendants are still here, all around us. Every bird in the sky, every sparrow, pigeon, and eagle is a living dinosaur. The next time you see a chicken, look at its scaly feet and the way it tilts its head. You're looking at a tiny, modern-day dinosaur. Dinosaurs hatched from eggs and grew up fast. A baby Tyrannosaurus was small and fluffy. As a teenager, it shot up to the size of a bus. So what happened to the giants? 66 million years ago, a city-sized asteroid slammed into the Earth. It threw up so much dust that the sky went dark and the world turned cold. Plants died, and the great dinosaurs, with so many mouths to feed, could not survive. In a geological blink, the long reign of the giant dinosaurs was over, making room, in time, for the mammals, and eventually for us. But their story isn't finished. Every year, scientists dig up brand new kinds of dinosaurs no one had ever seen before. On average, a new species of dinosaur is discovered almost every week, somewhere in the world. Each new fossil is another clue, slowly turning a world we can never visit into one we can actually understand. The giants are gone, but look up at the birds and dig into the rock, and you'll find the dinosaurs are still telling their story if we know how to read it.